Hi lovely souls, my name is Samantha James. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today we have a pick a card for you, and it's going to be messages from your spirit guides, essentially what they need you to know right now or what they want to remind you of. We're going to be talking about blessings coming your way, wishes being granted, all of the above. We're going to also pull some runes, and if you guys know about runes or if you don't, it's going to be really interesting and fun. We have pile number 1 with the tiger's eye, pile number 2 with the carnelian, and pile number 3 with the jasper. If you're new to pick a cards, what you're going to do is pause the video and figure out whichever pile or crystal you're drawn to the most. Go down below in the description box, find your timestamp, and I will see you all at your reading. All right, pile number 1, welcome. If you guys chose the tiger's eye, this is for you. Tiger's eye is a great crystal for relieving stress and putting you at ease. I always think of Nicole Kidman in Practical Magic, and it was like a blood moon, and she was like, "Where's my tiger's eye? Where's my tiger's eye?" So I really love tiger's eye because of that. And that could also be a clue as to sort of what your spirit guides want you to know, what messages they have going on for you today, telling you not to worry, telling you not to have stress. We're gonna get right into it. I have pre-shuffled everything. I have your tarot and your oracle already set up. And then we are gonna be pulling some runes. This is actually my man's runes. I ordered some more girly ones, but this one is just so archaic, so freaking cool. It was given to him by a really cool psychic in Sedona, Arizona. And it's just, I don't know, I mean, look at it. It's fucking awesome. We're gonna pull from that as well. All right, so what message does your spirit guides have for you, or what do they simply want to remind you of, as well as what blessings are coming in, what wishes are being granted, all of that. Let's get into it. So to start, we have clearing. We have expansiveness. We have portal. We have look at the bigger picture from the Moonology. A win-win outcome is in forecast, and adjustments are required. Also, this is a citron candle. So citron is all about positivity, and I think I might be wrong, but because it says November on it, so it might be the birthstone of people born in November. Maybe you're born in November. Maybe that's a clue. We have victory, patience. For your self-care oracle, we have align your intentions with your actions. We have optimism is a happiness magnet. If you stay positive, good things and good people will be drawn to you. Mary Lou Retton. For your tarot, we have the Ace of Wands, the King of Pentacles, Justice, and the 10 of Pentacles. And then for your mindful messages, we have commitment and coming my way, which I will read and get more into. Okay, so let me make sure we are all in frame. All right. So group number 1, what message does your spirit guides have for you today? Essentially, something I am really seeing here is that you guys are feeling a little blocked, maybe blocked energetically, and feeling blocked has resulted in some inner turmoil. You're not feeling very faithful, you're not feeling very optimistic, you're not feeling very positive, which is natural. We just had a full moon in Capricorn, and I did a live on that day. If you guys ever wanted a personal reading with me, definitely check out my live streams. I know for some of you, I'm out of the time zone in which you guys could join, but you can also pre-book, and it will forever be on my channel. So I have some people that are in bed by the time I go to do a live, but the next morning or next day they view their reading and stuff because it's always there. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely look in the description box. But not the point. The point is my last live stream on the Capricorn full moon, I had done 5 career readings in a row. I mean, everybody's question of that night was about their career. And even in my own personal life, I had friends kind of talking about like their career path and how they felt like inadequate and this and that. So it's definitely an energy that's been going around. We just had Neptune go retrograde. Neptune is all about expansiveness. It is all about fantasies and dreams, and it makes us, in retrograde, it makes us feel like we're not doing enough, or we're not, it just brings up a lot of, I don't want to say negative energy. It all has a purpose. None of this is to sabotage us, but it does bring up some difficult feelings, and you guys might be really going, being very hard on yourself, I think, is the energy. And something your guides want to remind you of is, listen, you are going to be successful. There is a bigger picture to some of the shit going down in your life. And when we are in the thick of it, it is very hard to see that. I mean, even personally, this is my career, this is what I do for a living, and even I have my own shortcomings when it comes to my faith and my spirituality. Even I have my own struggles, trials and tribulations. Even I sometimes can't see outside of my own problem at the bigger picture. And I know that sometimes when we get this card, it feels very redundant, it feels very impossible. It's like, okay, well, what is the bigger picture? Like, tell me. And sometimes we're just not meant to know at the moment, but we just do have to trust that God has a better plan for us, a bigger plan. That if something doesn't work out, be so faithful, so grounded in your spirituality that you assume it's for the better. That if something is not working out, it's because they have a better, bigger picture in mind for you. You know what I'm saying? So remind yourself of that. It's something that your guides want to say to you. Another thing is that inevitably you're going to be successful. So whether you can see the literal bigger picture or not, understand that at the end of the road, whatever road you're on, if it's a difficult path, if it seems like an endless struggle, remind yourself that there is a win-win outcome in forecast. There is a victory here. And tell yourself that, hey, I'm being a little impatient. Let me change my perspective. Let me, adjustments are required because you guys are not aligning yourself with positivity. And there is some true clearing that has to be done in order for you to ground yourself and have that patience again. And I know, every story is going to range, especially with this message and what you guys are personally going through. Maybe some of you are going to be like, hey, I've been patient for years. And I understand that. I really, really do. I mean, before, all I can do is refer to my own self and my own experiences. I used to not do that in my tarot card readings. And then I realized that the only tarot card readings that stick with me are the ones I watch where the reader has a personal example. Those are the only ones where I get the message. So, I have a lifetime of personal examples, and I think ultimately that is why I've gone through so much shit, so that I could end up sitting here to give you guys proper advice. There's an actual beautiful quote, and it is, how can I sit down to write if I have not stood up to live? And the same way that how are you going to write a book about something if you have never really truly lived a life of experience? It's the same way that I interpret being a tarot card reader. You can be really good at reading cards and yada yada, and everyone has their own ability to be book smart and perfect a craft. But if you have, if you never leave your apartment or if you've never actually had a range of experiences and heartache and heartbreak and loss and tragedy, how are you really gonna relate to anybody? So I've had it all. I've had heartbreak and loss and all that great stuff. But the point is that I understand you guys, group number one. I understand where you're coming from. I understand that maybe your manifestations have not come into fruition for a while, and or you haven't seen the results of them. For some of you, part of it is that you're blocked right now, so you're not even able to see it. And then the other part of it is that they're still coming, that there's still a need for patience and looking at the bigger picture. But going back to maybe possibly being blocked, you aren't going to be able to be in an energetic field in which you can receive unless you unblock yourself. So we have coming my way as your mindful message. Unique opportunities aligned with my desires present themselves to me. I attract all that I need to make my dreams a reality. So affirmations are going to be a really great tip for feeling blocked. Meditation, for allowing yourself to be in the present moment and be patient. Obviously, optimism. Align your intentions with your actions. Optimism is a happiness magnet. Essentially, what they're saying is you create your reality. And that's really what this Neptune in retrograde is bringing out of us, is questions, because we are still in, I believe, a Saturn retrograde, which is, we all know when Saturn hits the fan, it's ridiculous. We all talk about in astrology the Saturn return within our birth charts, etc., etc. So with Saturn and Neptune in retrograde, there is a bunch of inner turmoil. That's why I started off the reading by saying, like, if you feel this way, this is supernatural. Don't be so hard on yourself. In fact, give yourself one less thing to be hard on yourself about, okay? But it's all about questioning ourselves within our mind. Why do we create the particular reality that we have in front of us? Is it a reality that we like, or is it a reality we don't like? And why, if not? If it's not something we enjoy, do we assume responsibility and take that into our own account that we have possibly affirmed something negative? Or if it is a reality that we wanted to create, how come we don't give ourselves enough credit for the magic that we are able to endow? So, there's a lot of these questions coming up, and it is easy for us to kind of go through a list of what we might be doing wrong or what we might be doing right, and kind of get wrapped up in that. Luckily for you, I don't see too much swords. I don't see any swords in the tarot. I do get the energy that you guys have been thinking a lot, but at least it's not like swords, like you've just been stressing yourself out. I think here, group number 1 is all about a gentle reminder that you guys just need a few adjustments in order to really clear yourself, align yourself, and open yourself up to receiving. So we have clearing here. As true offering arises, it becomes easy to let go. You start to trust that more will always arrive. You shift from mine to God's. Such freedom. And expansiveness. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. All right, and then we have portal. Doors are opening, you decide. Rewards, wild card. You get to decide your path. You get to create your reality. Align, your intentions with your actions. We have the Ace of Wands, and that shows me that you guys are in a very creative energy right now. You are feeling a burst, a surge, if you will, of creativity. You want to start projects, you want to take names, you want to do it all. And I feel you. Do it. I believe in you. King of Pentacles, for a lot of you, you have the smarts, the wits, and the wherewithal, the strength to put these creative projects and endeavors into a place where you can actually earn some income. King of Pentacles is all about wealth, it's about money, and it's about power. It's also about commitment, and we have this mindful message here of commitment. I am committed to my growth and dreams. I set routines and habits that help me evolve into my fullest potential. Even though I may not see the physical manifestation of my desires, I know they have vibrationally manifested and are on their way to me, coming my way. What did I say? What did I freaking say? You guys definitely need to understand that you don't need to continuously ask for things. I have this gorgeous friend, and I'm not even gonna call her out, I just love her, and sometimes she'll be like, when is my abundance coming? In a week, in a month, will I be abundant? Will I get this? Will I get that? And I'm like, you are abundant. It is here now. If you constantly look at your goals or your wishes as this long-term thing, or this next week, next month, far away thing. It will always be as that. It will always be a month away. It will always be a year away. What you need to do is affirm that into your reality right the fuck now. Side note, some of you guys have really beautiful lashes, or you get your lashes done and they look really good. I personally got my lashes done recently and they're all falling out, which I'm not happy about, but I think it's the humidity here in Texas and it's like the retention is not good. So I'm just going through a thing right now. But you will find victory in all of your endeavors. So some of the blessings coming towards you represent abundance. You guys might have some more money coming in for you. It also, I feel like, is a general sense. And the reason why it's general is not to be vague or broad. It's to more so say that whatever it is that you guys wished for will and is being granted. And that can range from so many different things. So if you can think right now, group number 1, on what you have wished for recently, you can count on it coming towards you. We have justice here, and justice is all about, sometimes, dependent on the reading, it's about karmic justice. It's about the fates aligning things in your favor because they felt like things have been unfair. Maybe you've been going through the thick of it and all those trials and tribulations. And now it's time for you to have that restoration and that harmony. It's time for you to have peace. It's time for you to feel, good about something and feel like there are results to what you've been working so hard on. 10 of Pentacles. For a lot of you, group number 1, the wishes and blessings coming towards you right now and what your spirit guides want you to know is that there is money coming towards you, that there is stability coming towards you, that you are going to be very, very happy. And happy and content in that you're centered in the knowingness that the universe is on your side. And not only is it on your side, but when you feel like it's not on your side, it's simply stepping out the way because it wants to see you go through the portal. It doesn't want to get in your way. It wants to watch you, succeed and take the leap of faith and go towards the finish line in that victory. Full moon in Libra, a win-win outcome is in forecast. Whatever it is that your heart desires, for some of you, it's travel with the Sagittarian energy here. Some of you will use some of this extra money and extra abundance to travel, which is gorgeous, or get your lashes done. I don't freaking know. But be patient and understand and affirm even. Please start affirming that you will have everything that you've ever wanted. Everything that you've ever wanted. Okay. So I am going to pull some runes for you guys. This is going to be very interesting from this beautiful rune sack, which is my fiance's. Okay, I just feel like this is just so, look at this. And you're just gonna die at the actual, what they look like, because I know runes are like on Amazon now and they're all pretty. Okay, I'm gonna just pull 2. And they're kind of dirty. See, they're literally stone. Okay, what is this? This is not even a rune. I don't know. I'm gonna put that to the side. I think, okay, 3 wants to come out. All right, let's see. All right. So we have, I believe this one is Kanaz. I'm also gonna say up front, I am not with it in the pronunciation. Please do not come for my neck. That one time that I wasn't with it with the astrology, I asked you guys not to come for my neck. And some of you did anyway, and guess what? Your girl learned all of it and knows everything about the mythology of astrology and blah, blah, blah. We can go on for days about it. So I will come back stronger. But this is my first time doing runes, so the pronunciation is a little iffy. I'm not trying to offend anyone in the runes community. So we have Kanaz, and we have Othila, and we have Wungo. Okay. So let's start with Kanaz and talk about that interpretation. I know that it's the sound of K, and this is, I'm going to take this as a positive interpretations of all of these just because this is such a positive reading. I'm not sure if in runes you read reversals or if sometimes it comes in reverse, you read the negative interpretation, but it's so interesting how some people only refer to runes as their only thing. I'm using it as a sense of oracle because I feel like runes can be very broad in their meaning and interpretation. So Kanaz, the sound of K, is concerned with illumination and the destruction that needs to take place in order to make way for the new. So like I said, if you guys are going through something right now that is difficult or you're in the thick of it, you will find your way out of it. But even more so, like I said with these 2 retrogrades, you're being called to clear and release some things within yourself, some maybe even thought patterns and habits in which you limit yourself and your destiny, or you limit your mind's eye in how you perceive situations within your life. Because this is the story, group number 1, of being your own worst enemy. That's something that your guides would want to say, is that you guys have a tendency to be your own worst enemy. Because in the tarot, you're fabulous. Everything is fine. But there are just a few adjustments that are required, and it is mainly to do with your perception of how you view your situation. Is it really all that bad? And if it is it something that maybe your anxiety manifested or created? Kanaz is all about destructing those principles and putting illumination to maybe even the bigger picture. So Kanaz denotes insight. It's all about learning and knowledge, wisdom and enlightenment. Like I said, experience is going to help you grow. Everything that you're going through right now, even just listening to this reading, is going to give you some sort of insight and perception that is going to allow you to see and realize that you have this beautiful highest potential, which is what all Kanaz is about. This is all about new beginnings. This is all about learning. It can represent the light of guidance as well, and I think it's beautiful that it came out in this reading because, you know, your spirit guides want to remind you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Just go through the portal and understand that there is a revelation on the other side, and this rune brings great clarity to that. This is all about spiritual and intellectual enlightenment. You know, enlightenment is the key when it comes to this rune. This can also indicate good health and a positive attitude. So if you feel like your life has been stagnating, like I said, if you feel like you're not seeing the results of your manifestations, the materializations of it, understand that it is coming and a change for the better is happening. Sometimes, you know, with the look at the bigger picture card, things happen in that we're like, why? We don't understand that maybe it is for the better. So this is really beautiful. This can also, you know, low-key denote to sexual passion. So check out my 18+. But in general, this rune comes out when you feel like your emotions are a little heightened, when you feel like maybe shit has hit the fan. So I'm definitely proud of you for being here at this reading in general, because I feel like sometimes when shit does hit the fan, at least for me, I tend to not want to see these sort of readings because I just don't even want to know. But here we are, and it's very positive, and you have a lot of blessings coming your way. So we have Othilla, the sound of O as in old. So Othilla is all about, sometimes the original meaning for this is inheritance. It's a sense of anything of value that can be handed down or passed down. So with the 10 of Pentacles energy, King of Pentacles, maybe there quite literally is some sort of inheritance coming towards you. It could represent, like I said, that you have money and material things coming into fruition. So definitely enjoy this abundance coming towards your way. This usually and mostly always refers to possessions, and with that 10 of Pentacles there is, and King of Pentacles, there's definitely something here in regards to a home or items or something that you might acquire, some sort of money. So abundance is definitely coming towards you. Maybe you guys are trying to find a place or a house or a car or whatever it is, and that's part of the wishes and blessings coming your way. It can also refer to a spiritual community or group or family traditions that have become hollowed and which are comforting, especially in times of stress. This can also represent that maybe you need to lean more on your family or your friends or the people in your material world that are, you know, material world as in they're three-dimensional people and they're not just angels and guides. your angels and guides are like, I'm here for you, but like, you know, so are other people, and sometimes our wishes are granted in the form of other people. This can refer to just a group of people who are loyal to you and refers down to your roots or something that you can feel like is your tribe or your clan. So this is all about becoming a part of a group. Maybe this is also a hint as to becoming a part of a community in which you should not live in a closed world, that you should open up more, or that you maybe are too tied down to the past or to family. And with that Capricorn full moon, it's all about bringing up feelings of the past. So this rune can definitely suggest freedom, independence, through releasing ideas and even releasing yourself from the things that keep you stuck. Oof, that is deep. That is fucking deep. So it's like, we kind of talked about this. Oh my God, this is a rune. Oh my God, it's a blank rune. Okay, I can't ignore it then. It's a blank rune. And this is wired or weird. Or, sorry, again, I'm probably not pronouncing this correctly. I'm going to read from the book for this one because I did not know this was a rune. Okay, in some traditions, Weird is said to be the mother of the Norns and the one who wove the web of fate that covered the then known world. Therefore, Weird can be viewed as the force that judges both gods and mortals and rewards or punishes them for their actions. It can also be considered to be the rune that cuts short their mortality. In a reading, the blank rune of Weird means fate, destiny, kismet, or circumstances and events that are found beyond their control, which is also very in relation to canoes. So this is beautiful. This is so full circle. I cannot. Because this is just representative of your fate, your destiny is what you make it. It is what you design. It is by your design. It's cliche, it's overspoken, we say it way too often, but you create your own reality. And in this case, group number one, you quite literally do. The blank rune of Weird means that those of us who live in the modern world find it hard to believe in fate or karma because we prefer to think that our own free will can override destiny. But accidents happen. People fall in love or come home and find that their spouse has walked out. People even win things or lose them. Life is not always in our hands. Sometimes it's just a matter of destiny. All we can do is live through both the good and the bad times and learn from them. Oh, mic drop. I mean, come on. That is freaking beautiful. Okay, so moving on to Wungo. I think it's Wungo or it's no, it's Wungo. All right, so Wungo is the sound of V or W, which is this one right here. And this is associated with happiness and joy and the battle that is well fought and won, that victory feeling, that I earned this motherfucker feeling. And it offers prosperity and friendship. So you guys, blessings coming through. I mean, some of you guys are really attracting your soul tribe here. Some of you guys, amongst attracting abundance and all these beautiful things that you can do with abundance, maybe even travel or buy yourself something nice, you know, you are even attracting family or a soul tribe that you guys have wanted for so long. Because this is associated with the wind, Wungo can also mean that it alters the direction of something or changes a situation into other. So sometimes it can represent that you are running against the wind. This can also be a representation of your sign. Maybe you are a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and maybe you let that pretty little head of yours overthink a little too much and you feel the need to switch directions all the time when really you are doing great, sweetie. It represents a state of harmony, which is that Justice card we have right there. We also have that full moon in Libra. And it is providing you harmony in a very chaotic world. So this is all about balance coming your way. Wungo indicates luck and happiness and success coming into your life. So you guys, group number one, killing it. Runes are very daunting. And I'm a little nervous for the other two piles because I have yet to unbox that Pandora's box. So, but runes can be very extreme. They can be very negative, you know, I guess. And you guys got 4 positive, beautiful ones and just really validating a very gorgeous reading. So group number one, it was honestly a pleasure. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me here. Definitely comment down below if it resonated. I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell notification. I am posting content almost every single day, and I'm posting exclusive 18 plus content on my Patreon. If you guys were interested in a personal reading from me, definitely join my live stream. And like I said, if it falls out of range with your time zone, then you can pre-book in advance, send me your question, message me on Instagram at Samantha James Tarot. I will get you booked in, and it will always be there on my channel for whenever you are ready to watch it. In the meantime, however, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you guys all at your next reading. Hi, group number 2, welcome. If you chose the carnelian, this is for you. Carnelian is a really great crystal for manifesting wealth, strength, positivity into our life. I have pre-shuffled your oracle and your tarot, and we are gonna pull some runes, which has been really cool and very, very interesting. We're gonna do that towards the end of the reading. So I hope that you guys are cozy and, you know, have a cup of tea or coffee or whatever it is, or you stay hydrated with that water, because we are gonna be here getting those messages. What do your spirit guides want to tell you or simply remind you of? What wishes are being granted? What blessings are coming into your life? Let's get into it. So I'm gonna start with your oracle. We have ease, gratitude, water your garden. The world has told you lies about how small you are. Confidence is the key to success. Bring love into the situation. Gratitude rampage. List 10 things you're thankful for. Well, your tarot fell out. Breathe in bliss, exhale bullshit. Angel of strength. I'm going to put that under that Leo because I just feel like that is so perfect. Angel of balance. Okay, for your tarot, we have the Ace of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Six of Wands. This is beautiful. And the Emperor. All right, I'm gonna make sure we are in frame. For your mindful messages, we have loving friends and gratitude. All right, so we're a little crooked. Perfect. And here is our mindful messages, which are gonna be a little cut off, but it's all good. Okay. Group number 2, hello, hi, welcome. So, what are the messages for you that your spirit guides want to share with you or simply remind you of? I think I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze. Ah! Okay, we're good. So, what I can see so far is that there has been a lot of self-doubt, group number 2. I mean, you guys are really not your biggest fan right now, and you could be just being, well, I mean, you are just being way too hard on yourself. And a lot of it could be in result of what other people have told you, what you have been conditioned to learn. Now, something that really came out in group number 1, something that I felt was necessary to talk about, was the Saturn and Neptune retrograde that we are still currently in, and I guess the post-shadow retrograde of Mercury, which is not that important, honestly. And then that full moon in Capricorn. All of those things mixed into a little pot equal self-loathing and a lot of feelings and thoughts about the past being stirred up and coming up to the surface, making us question ourselves, inner turmoil to say the very least, but just really questioning our identity and like who we are and what we're doing with our lives in general. And the reason for that being isn't just to put you through some torture. A lot of that is because your guides want to have you fix and clear some of these old thought patterns that should be released, because you are a new person, an enlightened person, a person who has rebirthed, and it's time for you to put to bed some of the wounds that your inner child may still have. And for you guys, group number 2, I definitely feel like you were someone who did or currently still battles with issues in your self-esteem, not feeling good enough. And I don't even think that it's all your fault. I don't think that you did this to yourself. I think that some of you could have been bullied as a kid or came from a culture that didn't want you to think outside of the lines, that maybe your parents had set up some destiny for you. You're supposed to be a doctor, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. You have a completely different life in mind for yourself. Some of you, I'm hearing arranged marriage. There's just definitely a vibe here, group number 2, of you guys having to work in the constraints of what everyone else's opinion is of you. And what your guides want to really remind you of and tell you is that the world has told you lies about how small you are, that you're really not. And you are at a point right now where you might be believing them. You might truly be not seeing who the fuck you are. And it's natural to feel this way. It's not your fault that you feel this way. When we are out of alignment, it could be energetically with our chakras, quite literally, or it could be that just spiritually we're not feeling it. That is when we need to go back to self-care. That is when we need to go back to rest. That is when we need to center our heart space in gratitude and not focus in on the past or the future or the things that we don't have or the things that we want. To just really talk about and think about, whoa, I just realized we have gratitude 3 times. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Yes, there is a lot that we do not have, group number 2, but there is also so much that we do have. And you guys need to be a little easier on yourself. Some of you grew up with what I kind of mentioned in how you had a culture or parents that were very strict. And maybe you're even past that. Maybe you guys don't live that way anymore. It's just kind of implanted into your psyche. And you just have to be reminded that everything is okay. Because you guys were raised this very certain way, group number 2, you're overachievers at its core. You have to work 10 times harder to prove to everyone that you're 10 times better. You are just that person. You're highly motivated. You're highly successful. You are very, you want to challenge success. You want to look success in its face and fucking defeat it. You want to be success. Like, you guys have very high expectations for yourself in your life, and it's because you've had to work 10 times harder than the average person to just achieve the bare minimum, just to prove that you are who you are. Some of you, this has to do with who you choose to love, even with the 2 of Cups here. Happy Gay Pride. We're still in June. I love that. And because you're such an overachiever, and because you have to go that extra mile to do everything to be accepted in your family and society and your culture, whatever it is, you're not easy on yourself. You're hard on yourself. You're not nice to yourself. You're a coach. You're very hard on yourself. Some of you count calories. Some of you decide how much self-loathing you're going to take with you into each day. And your spirit guides don't want that life for you. They want you to go easy on yourself. They want you to rest. They want you to water your garden. They want nourishment. They want body care. They want tenderness. They want rest for you. And if you feel like you can't rest, if you can't sit still because you have to achieve and you have to create and you have to do this, that energy actually stems from a place of insecurity, from a place of feeling like you can't just sit and be, because if you're not constantly doing something, then you won't receive something. You're affirming, group number 2, that if you're not constantly in the race, that you're not going to win it. One of my favorite stories ever, it was like a childhood story, but it's a quote, is slow and steady wins the race. You don't have to be the hare that is just a jackrabbit going all the way down to the race, to the finish line. In fact, you might hurt yourself that way. I really relate to this group number 2 because I feel the same way a lot of the time. If I'm not constantly doing or being, and I'm resting, I get a lot of anxiety. I feel like I'm not enough. I feel like if I'm not working or doing something involving work or creating and molding this future that I want so badly, then I personally have not earned abundance, that I personally have not earned my share of blessings. And it could just be like I take one fucking day off, which never happens. I'll still even do like a little pick a card post on my Instagram. I'll still do something on Patreon. Like I'll give myself, like, I'll never do like a full day of no work. And if I do, I feel very guilty. Like I feel very shamed. I don't feel at ease. I don't feel like I'm resting. And it stems from insecurity. It stems from the fact that I don't believe that if I chill for a sec, that I still can and deserve to receive blessings. And that is a lack of affirmation right there. That is you assuming that you have to constantly be in this masculine energy and constantly be pedaling in order to get something. And so what your guides want to tell you is that you could actually get a lot further if you do take time to rest and retreat. That you can probably earn just as much, if not more, if you do take care of yourself. And energetically and spiritually, you could probably even manifest more if you started to fucking believe that you can and will receive just by sitting on your butt looking pretty. That you can be an attracting energy, that you can be at ease and still be given blessings. That you don't always have to prove to anyone, especially your spirit guides and especially the angels and especially the universe, that you are worthy of blessings. Maybe you had to do that as a kid. Maybe you had to do that with your parents or your family or the people on this three-dimensional fucking fucked up world we live in. But with the people in the angelic realm, the guides, the spirits, you don't gotta prove to them anything. They already love you. They already think you're enough. They already think that you're deserving. They already think you're perfect. They already see your grand plan. They see 10 miles down the road that you don't see. They already know that you're gonna be successful. It don't matter if you take a break. They already know that you're getting to your goal. You don't know that. You don't believe that. And that stems from you not being confident in yourself. Bring love into the situation. Give yourself some love. Give yourself some credit, group number 2. Understand that strength is not just about a physical strength or the tenacity to constantly be vigilant, to constantly do. Strength comes from within. It's how do we control our anxiety? How do we temper our thoughts, our negative thought patterns from believing we're not good enough? That's what real strength is. Confidence is your key to success, because if you're confident that you will receive blessings, you're affirming and manifesting that you will receive these blessings. And if you ever feel, because there's definitely anxiety here, group number 2, that you guys deal with, and it's so discomforting to deal with anxiety. If you ever feel anxious when you're resting, because you are constantly thinking about the future or the past, this is what you are gonna do. You're going to express gratitude. We have gratitude 3 times, and it's no joke. Write a list, gratitude rampage. List 10 things you're thankful for. You know why gratitude works to stay centered in the present? Is because you have to focus in on what you have in this present moment, what you have right now, right here, all around you. You're not thinking about the future, you're not thinking about the past, you're thinking about right now. So if you're ever feeling anxiety, the best solution for you, group number 2, is to express gratitude. Amongst keeping you in the present, gratitude will also help you stay centered in your heart space and align yourself. Meditation, it sounds cliche, but that's also going to be a great thing for you. Breathe in bliss, exhale bullshit. Gratitude. I love acknowledging all the little things I'm grateful for. No matter what I have going on, I always have things to be thankful for. Whenever I'm feeling upset, I can fill up a page with the things I appreciate. This begins to shift my mood and focus on that which brings me joy. You guys also have some sort of community or some sort of support, and it could even just be online, but that is something. We have loving friends here. I surround myself with people who inspire me and grow together with me. My friends raise me up and hold me the best that I can be. I am loved unconditionally and supported throughout my journey. I release old friendships which may be toxic or keeping me stagnant. For some of you, it is about releasing old friendships that keep you stagnant. But having more love for yourself and your situation, ease. It's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. It's easy for me to receive. Fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for wherever I go. We have the Ace of Swords here, the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is all about love and romance. Maybe some of you guys have a partner that you can lean on. Maybe you guys have a friendship or a community or a group of like-minded people that you can lean on. But something your spirit guides are reminding you to do is to lean on them. Not everything has to be done just solely by yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day, and for some reason you guys are trying to build it in a week. We have the Six of Wands. No matter what you do, no matter how much time you take to rest and kind of nourish yourself and replenish, you're gonna be successful. You're gonna have success. Six of Wands, the finish line is there. Like I said, your guides can see it. They're all seeing, all-knowing beings. They're not trapped in this very skewed, three-dimensional reality and perspective that we have. They know with the Emperor that you're gonna be a boss, that you're gonna have the damn thing, that you're gonna have everything that you've ever imagined and desired in your life. There's no question about it. So in the meantime, with the Ace of Swords, what you can do for yourself is start talking to yourself a little nicer, switching over the repetitive, maybe even inevitable thought patterns you have that are a little negative, that for some reason don't allow you to bask in your success. It's always on to the next, group number 2. On to the next, to the point where you can't even give yourself credit for what you have achieved because you're too far in the future to even look around and see what you have done for yourself. And that's why gratitude is here 3 times. Having more balance between your work life and your play, because I feel like you guys are all work, no play. Oh, I'll rest when I'm dead. That's not a cute quote. I don't like that quote. Rest and sleep is bomb, and it's perfect, and it's so good for your brain. And I have 3 different books that I'm looking at right now on my bookshelf about sleep and dreams and just doing that. So please. All right, so group number 2, I'm gonna pull your runes. It's gonna be exciting. Look how like archaic this is, like cute. All right. And you're gonna laugh because the runes really are stone. All right. Okay, you guys got 2. All right, and be gentle with me. I am still learning them. The, what's it called? The pronunciation. I'm gonna murder it. I know that up front. We have Jera and we have Sowilo. So Jera and Sowilo are your runes. And this is actually my man's bag of runes. It's like very manly. I think it's so funny. He was given these runes by a psychic in Sedona. So Jera is the sound of Y as in year. So Yira, actually. Yira is all about harvest. And this is very interesting because we all know harvest to be about planting those seeds and having patience to watch them grow. And that's what this is all about. You guys have planted the seeds and that shit is gonna grow, but in the meantime, chill. You guys are doing great, sweetie. Yira can also represent the closing in of a cycle, the end of a year. It is about the rotation and the change. And we are cyclic beings. So maybe right now you're not seeing necessarily all the fruits of your abundance. I do see that success coming through for you. With the Ace of Swords, it can even represent a wish being granted of yours. And I'm not even going to tell you specifically what that wish is because it is going to range. But just trust that your wishes are heard and they are going to be granted. The lesson of Yura is, and what it offers is that we want to achieve great results, but we cannot go against the natural order of life, you guys. We need to go with the flow. I mean, how fucking beautiful is this? Yura is all about going with the flow, and it's about understanding that we are cyclic beings, and not everything is always gonna be like boom, 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 success, success, success. Sometimes we need to rest. We have to accept that events and changes come at the proper and most perfect divine timing. And these are all opportunities for new beginnings. This rune, being representative of harvest, is all about reaping what you have sown and receiving the rewards for your efforts. So this can really indicate, it's very similar to the World Tarot card. It's the World Tarot card is the last card in the Major Arcana deck, and it is all about finishing a cycle, you know, a feeling of completing something, a long project, a feeling of relief. This is about understanding that results are coming for the seeds you have planted. This is gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. And then we have Sowilo, which is the sound of Swilo. Which is the sun rune. It's a feminine rune in nature. And it, you know, can be correspondent to the sun in the Major Arcana deck, which is all about that Six of Wands. The sun is all about success. And the sun and the world together, I mean, Yura and Sowilo, hello, hi. Beautiful. It just represents that your spiritual and psychic powers and talents are being strengthened right now. You are transforming and understanding, and you are going to obtain your goals. That everything that you've been trying to achieve is going to happen for you. This represents joy. It represents happiness and love, which is what the Sun card embodies at its finest. But this is closely related to your heart, and here's a funny thing. With the S, it's related to the season of summer. And we're in summer right now. Of course, this is a timeless reading, but it could be like, I don't see anything happening. And it's like, it's happening right now. It's summer. This is happening right now. This represents a very strong, positive force. It promises clarity and energy and optimism and confidence, victory and success. That's that Six of Wands. That's the Emperor right there. This is a time when power is available to you for positive change in your life. This is a gorgeous rune to get, group number 2. You guys are doing great. You need to be a little nicer to yourself. You need to affirm and understand that your blessings are coming in for you, that you have done all that you can do. And now it's time to rest and retreat. Maybe take yourself out to the spa and understand that whatever happened in the past, where people told you you weren't good enough or you weren't going to be successful, that they're just wrong, okay? They're just eternally wrong, and it's not your job to prove anyone wrong, you know? It's your job to prove to yourself that you are enough and have more balance in that realization. All right? Group number 2, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. I really hope that resonated. Please comment down below if it did. I love to hear from you guys. I am posting exclusive 18+ content on my Patreon. If that is something you guys are interested in, definitely join. It's getting really fun. Lots of people are joining, and we're having a good time on Patreon. If you guys wanted a personal reading with me, you wanted to ask a question, please join my live stream. And if my live stream falls out of your time zone, no worries, you can still book. My live streams always stay on my channel. You can visit all my live streams already on my channel, and in the description box below gives you information on how to book and ask whatever question you guys want to ask. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you all at your next reading. Number 3, welcome. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Jasper, this is for you. We're going to be talking about what your spirit guides want to tell you or simply remind you of. We're going to talk about blessings coming into your life and wishes being granted. We are also going to pull runes, which is very exciting. All right, so let's get into it. Group number 3. I hope that you guys are doing well. I've already pre-shuffled your oracle and your tarot, so let's get into it. For your oracle to start, we have faith, we have divine love, we have courage. You guys got 3 of these divine love messages. We have messenger, we have child of the cosmos, for your moonology, we have surrender to the divine, nothing is yet set in stone, we have let go of control and relax into flow. Hi, babies. We have trust your intuition, she's always right. We have for your you are magic card. Of course, there must be lots of magic in the world, he said wisely one day, but people don't know what it's like or how to make it. Perhaps the beginning is just to say nice things are going to happen until you make them happen. I love that. I'm going to put that down here. You have 2 mindful message cards. You have morning ritual and return to the body. And for your tarot, we have the King of Cups, the 10 of Cups, the Empress, and the Moon in reverse. All right, I'm gonna make sure everything is in frame. Okay. So group number 3. What I can see already is that some of you have been feeling intuitively and spiritually blocked. Like you feel like it's very hard to discern and to trust maybe some of the thoughts and feelings that you have been having as of late. Maybe you guys find it in general very hard to trust yourself. Like you're very spiritual and you're very faithful. And like, of course, you'll get a tarot card reading and you'll trust this tarot card reader and what they say. But when it comes to yourself and receiving messages or doing your own spread, you have a really tough time trusting yourself. I think that you guys are my group of overthinkers. You guys tend to be conflicted between whether you trust your heart or your mind, or even your heart, mind, or gut. And for that sort of disruption in which you're not sure whether or not you can rely on your own intuition, you're not sure whether or not you can trust yourself. When things like that happen, you don't allow yourself the courage to stay confident in your faith, the courage to stay confident in the divine and the message and the plan that they have for you. When that happens, I feel like you guys can be consumed by doubt. And something that is very interesting that's standing out in this pile to me is that you guys are really cloaked with divine love. Something that your spirit guides really want to remind you of is that they love you and they support you and they're here for you and they are there for you, and they sometimes step aside, or maybe it feels like there's a disconnect, or it feels like you can't always trust them. And it's because they step aside to allow you to... Sorry about that. So, as I was saying, I feel like you guys are deeply spiritual and you're deeply connected and you have a very keen intuition. But somewhere along the way, maybe it was even your upbringing and how you were raised. Maybe this enlightenment, this awakening is new to you. Maybe it's still foreign. But somewhere along the way, you were taught to allow your right brain to override and logically interfere with some of the intuition or intuitive hits that you've been downloading. And you guys find it very hard to believe yourself and trust yourself. And when it comes to times like when your spirit guides take a step back because they really want you to navigate through this, it's almost like you guys shut down, or with the moon energy, you feel like things are very unclear and you really want to see clarity. Sometimes what can happen is we see clarity and then we see clarity and we see clarity, and then we've watched 20 tarot card pick-a-card readings and we are more confused than we originally started. And it's because the message somehow gets lost in translation, when really ultimately the message is already found within you. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. Group number 3, I wouldn't doubt that you guys are my star seeds. I wouldn't doubt that you guys are light workers or empaths or mystics, or have your own ability to really read between the lines. It takes courage to allow the divine to intervene and to trust that it's going to lead you in the right direction. Some of you guys are on the verge of something in regards to your life. It could be that you're starting a new job. It could be that you quit a job and you don't have a backup plan. It could be that the feelings of this full moon in Capricorn, Neptune retrograde, Saturn retrograde are just bringing up these feelings of inadequacy within you, and it has nothing to do with what I just said. All of this could just be a current state of mind. You could be feeling very anxious about the future, about the past. There's a huge emotional energy here, in that you guys really need to discern the messages that you're receiving from the thoughts that you are having. And it's really a lesson about letting go of control and relaxing into flow. Some of you guys should have a morning ritual, at least dedicating an hour to your spiritual practice. Morning rituals. In the morning, I will take time to tune into myself to set high vibrational rituals that will help me lead a good day. I pay attention to the morning habits that don't serve me and change them for the ones that do. We have surrendered to the divine. Nothing is yet set in stone. So essentially, whatever is happening right now, group number 3, it's not permanent. It's not here to stay. You might be in the thick of it. There might be a storm, but it will pass. And that is something that your spirit guides really want to remind you of. You're also safe, and that's something they want you to affirm. When you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirit. And that detachment that you should practice is also a form of letting go of control. Oh my God, sorry. Let me know if that sneeze resonated. So I feel like when you have faith, you allow yourself the room to detach. When you detach and you let go of control, you let go of your grip on your expectations, on your manifestations, and you allow the energy to come through. Whereas having a grip on it blocks it and stagnates the energy. So if you feel stagnation in your life right now, a lot of that can be due or credit to having such a tight grip on it, and then furthermore thinking over and over again as to why it hasn't come. We have faith. Miraculously, amazingly, everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I can imagine. Courage, let me be open to courageously take the steps that are shown. And there's a huge message in bringing up your emotions and how you guys are very overwhelmed by them or tied to them. And the message that follows is to return to your body. Sometimes you guys are a little too in your head, maybe doing something physical. When I am caught up in a stressful moment, I can move my awareness to my body. Is my jaw clenched? My body tense? How is my posture? This helps me to see where I can relax and let go of tension. Now I can return to any situation more calm and present. So I believe it was group number 2 or group number 1 that had a very similar situation. They were very caught up in their thoughts. You guys are very caught up in your emotions. Group number 2 or 1's advice was to center themselves in gratitude. Your advice is to center yourself in your physical body, to get grounded, to do some exercises or walking or deep breathing or reminding yourself that you are present being here on earth. Now, the reason why I feel like you guys are more centered in your emotions and even your spirituality is because you guys are starseeds. You're already up there vibrationally. You're already kind of in a different dimension, and that's not a bad thing. You're supposed to be a channel for the divine. You're supposed to be a messenger. Maybe for some of you, you quite literally don't have a job or you're transitioning and you're unsure of what to do next, and it's because you're not necessarily listening to your intuition or your divine life calling. You're supposed to create a tarot card channel or be a mystic or a Reiki healer or whatever it is that maybe you've been being encouraged to start but haven't quite trusted yourself enough to feel like you're able to do that sort of work. We have the King of Cups here, which represents Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, but even more so, it represents deep emotion and deep intuition and almost an inner knowingness that you're supposed to do something next. With the 10 of Cups, I definitely feel like you guys are on the right path to be very happy. So if you feel like you're not happy right now, understand that nothing is yet set in stone. In fact, surrender to your life path and your destiny, because that's when the magic happens. Allow things to come towards you. Step into an attracting energy with the Empress. Understand that maybe you don't have the answer to everything, but that doesn't matter. You don't have to have the answer to everything. What you have to have, though, is peace and love and faith in yourself, because you're gonna have to live with yourself all day, every day. So you might as well make peace instead of making war. You might as well give yourself some credit, give yourself some love. Something about spreading your wings, group number 3, allowing yourself that happiness. Maybe you understand already what will make you happy, but you self-sabotage. You're not feeling deserving of exactly that, or you're trying to find every excuse out of it because you have never been in a position in your life where you truly were able to accept joy. You guys always, for some reason, had to worry about something. Maybe you expect your unimpending doom or tragedy all the time. that things are actually good right now, they're actually fine, and it's hard for you to accept that. It's hard for you to receive that. And what your guides want to remind you of is that you are loved. They didn't put you on this earth so that you could deal with a bunch of tragedy and bullshit all the time. They want you to enjoy the finer things of life and then step up to the plate and be the messenger, the channel, so in which they can communicate through you so that you can communicate towards other people during this age of Aquarius. But you cannot do that if you don't train that muscle. You can't do that if you don't trust your intuition. Have the courage to open yourself up to receiving, group number 3, because you are meant to receive as the Empress. You are meant to be happy with the 10 of Cups. You are meant to have this inner knowingness with the Moon in reverse, and you are meant to be this emotional being that you are, embrace it, accept it, and love it with the King of Cups. The blessings coming into your life, group number 3, are that you're gonna start to realize your destiny a little more, I think you already have, but it's gonna start to make more sense. It's gonna start to piece itself together. Whereas in the past, it maybe didn't make that much sense. Everything is really coming together. And there are a few adjustments that are required in order to make sure that you can sit in an energy of positivity and optimism. I think some of you also need to work on that voice inside your head that tells you that you're not good enough or that you're not doing enough. Of course, there must be lots of magic in the world, he said wisely one day, but people don't know what it is like or how to make it. Perhaps the beginning is just to say nice things are gonna happen until you make them happen. The Secret Garden, which is an incredible movie if you have ever seen it. It's all about manifesting. Manifesting your reality. You create what you think, what you feel. All right, so let's pull your runes from this lovely archaic bag. Super cute. This is actually my man's. It's so manly, so it makes sense. All right, so this one wants to come out. Any more? I feel called to one more. Okay, so I'm gonna say up front, I am learning runes. I'm really awful with the names and the pronunciation, so bear with me. Okay, this one is Nothies or Nothiz. This one is Gabo, I'm pronouncing this incorrectly. And this is Othilla. All right, so we're gonna start with Nothiz, I believe. I believe that's what it's pronounced as. So it's really wonderful runes. I was doing group number 1 and 2s, and they are just beautiful to me as oracle. They're very broad, so to pull them on their own could make sense, but it can be a little hard to interpret. So Noth is the sound of N, is about shaping powers that form the fates of the world and humanity. So you guys are definitely getting a lot of downloads about maybe your destiny, your journey towards your awakening, your faith. I mean, I really feel like our spirit guides are definitely trying to get you to listen a little more keenly to the downloads that they're sending you, because maybe it is your time to start translating and sending these messages out to the people. This rune can also have to do with a strong desire to achieve and obtain. And we all know right now at this point, group number 3, that you guys are very hard on yourself, that you guys could be overachievers. You want to be successful, and maybe you are not sure how to get from point A to point C. This is a beautiful rune about putting in the work and then receiving. So working hard and making that effort will offer you a solution through your difficulties. This can represent a single hardship. It can also represent multiple challenges, but it encourages you to concentrate. In this case, it encourages you to listen to your intuition. Don't procrastinate at this time, and also understand that you have a great power and great strength harnessed within you. I believe it's attributed to the fact that you are a child of the cosmos, that you are a light worker, a star seed. I definitely think that you guys have to conserve your energy, conserve from the negativity or being hard on yourself, and put a lot of that energy into maybe other people, or putting it into some sort of craft or hobby or job. This is the perfect time right now, group number 3, to draw in your inner resources and strength, because Lord knows you have it. This rune always can suggest luck will change for the better in the near future. So that's really beautiful. So now we're gonna go to Yibo, the sound of a hard G, Yibo. And this one with G is always known to be about a gift. So maybe you have a wish coming true, there are definite blessings coming your way, but this can represent the nature of a gift that seems to remain ambiguous. So what's really funny about this rune is this is like a hidden gift. This is about something that we don't know yet. So as you probably saw in this reading, you're like, where are my wishes? Like, what are you talking about? I definitely named them in group 1 and 2, but it seems to be very ambiguous in your pile. All I know is that you're going to be receiving with the Empress and the 10 of Cups, and you're going to be very happy with what you receive. But what that thing is exactly, I don't know. And then to get this rune is really funny, because it just represents that it's very unclear. It's very, very unclear. This rune also represents generosity. So to me, I feel like every rune has a definite tarot card that goes along with it. I might be wrong, but that's just my interpretation. This one always reminds me of the 6 of Pentacles, because the 6 of Pentacles is about receiving, like you get this extra assistance, this extra money, but it's really in good fortune and good thought to use that extra money to help other people, maybe donate, maybe buy from a small business, whatever it is. It's always good to help someone out, because it's almost like a test. Like the universe gives you some extra money, some extra assistance, and they want to see you spread that around and be a good person. Not that you guys aren't, but just this could be a physical gift. It could also be group number 3, because we have the 10 of Cups and not necessarily the 10 of Pentacles, that this is a gift of within yourself from Creator, that you need to give some of your gifts of reading or doing astrology or Reiki or healing or whatever it is to other people. The more time and energy you put into other people, the more that you are going to be able to receive more from your Creator. This is the rune and the point in which the giver joins the one who receives. So you're going to receive, but you also need to give. This is a beautiful rune because it can represent so many things. It can represent love and growth and partnership. This is all about sharing. And you know, in a love omen type of way with the King of Cups and the 10 of Cups, you guys could be getting into a relationship, or you could be getting towards meeting your soulmate or something of that nature. I definitely see an element of romance in your reading group number 3, but this would be the rune to clarify that there could be an important development in your romantic relationships. So this could represent partnership. It could represent, you know, an upper echelon of commitment. It's just a really good rune to get because it represents full peace and contentment. And that is the Ten of Cups. It's contentment. It's being happy, being at peace, being, you know, and then it also represents in a loving relationship. It's like in the original tarot, they are in a rainbow or they're beneath a rainbow with kids in a field, and it just looks really beautiful. And that is what this rune can also represent, is that beauty and how you guys really earned it. And so maybe you guys are getting downloads about meeting a soulmate and you're just not sure if that's really going to happen, if you should follow that, if that's correct. And this is your, you know, clarification that you shouldn't doubt yourself at all. So this is a very lucky rune to get, and it can really represent harmony within your life and within relationships and the ability to balance opposing forces. And then we have Othilla, the sound of O as in old, which represents, I was telling some other group got this rune as well, it represents inheritance, but it's about something being passed on, and it can include knowledge. So like I'm trying to say here, there is definitely something being passed on to you. Could be by your ancestors, your guides, but it's like they're passing the torch. They feel like you are ready for this spiritual development, and they feel like you're responsible enough to maintain this. This can also represent manifestation in a material way as well. Like I said, it could be abundance. It could be a soul family. It could be a wish being granted. But this is also a beautiful omen and a beautiful rune to get because it represents that you guys are being rewarded and you are almost in a spot right now within your life where there's a lot of trust. There's an indication that your ancestors and guides are watching over you and feel like you are ready to receive. And Othilla is something that's beautiful because it can also be that you are guarded and watched over. Sometimes this rune can come up as well because it can suggest that you, or indicate that you're living in a closed world and that you need to open up more. And we've been talking about this, opening up your wings, soaring, letting yourself fly. Like we have this imagery of wings here, this imagery of wings here, that you guys should open yourself up, even here, like to receiving, and you should soar and fly. Even they have their arms out like this. I think I want you guys to physically practice just putting your arms out. And I think it would be very, cathartic for you. But this just represents, you know, receiving. And I think in your case, it's receiving knowledge and spiritualism and just some sort of gift from your guides. And it can also suggest freedom and independence. You're releasing ideas, maybe even old thought patterns about yourself so that you can clear the energy, because those things keep you stuck. And Othilla never wants you to be stuck by old concepts and ideologies and belief systems about yourself. All right, group number 3, that was so beautiful. I love you guys, I appreciate you. I really hope that resonated. Definitely comment down below if it did. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you are interested in exclusive 18+ content, come join the Soul Fam on Patreon. I have a lot of you joining. I'm so thankful for you guys. We're having a lot of fun on Patreon. I just uploaded an article about Neptune retrograde and what to do in regards to that. But in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. If you guys were interested in getting a personal reading by me, then definitely join my live stream. If you guys fall out of the time zone of my live stream, don't worry, you can always pre-book and then you will be able to, you know, join and I will be able to get your question done. So go to any live stream and the description box will tell you how to book, or you can hit me up on Instagram at Samantha James Tarot. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you guys all at your next reading.